Good evening, everyone. I make a motion to open the town board meeting of Thursday, August 21st, 2025.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Keep going. Opposed? Any opposed?
I am not opposed.
No.
No.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's going to be a long night. Fasten your seatbelts. Okay, then I make a second motion. Oh, my God, this is all on television. I make a second motion to go out of our public meeting and start our executive session. And, whoa. And we're asking the clerk to step out for the executive session.
And buy us pizza.
Great. And the purpose of the executive session?
It's legal advice on a number of subjects.
And who's taking the minutes?
I guess that'll be me.
Alrighty.
I'll second.
Thank you, Nicole.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town Board meeting, the Amelia Town Board meeting Thursday, August 21st, 2025. And I'd like to first make a motion to come out of executive session and start the public meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, well, we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance and the emergency exits. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And since I'm standing, the exits are the door you came in and this door over here, which does go out to the hall. Okay. Dawn. Roll call?
Sure. Well, you were like, Dawn. I didn't know if we're going to open the meeting. The motion. Supervisor Blackman?
Here.
Great. Council members from Everard? Ham? Here. Ahern?
Here.
Everyone's present.
See, that was easy. I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda with two changes. One is that I'm proposing that we have an executive session after the public meeting is finished, because we didn't get through everything we had on our list. And the other is to add to discussion items the Red Oak project for the bicycle trails after a conversation I had with Ian today. So I want that discussed. Okay.
I'm sorry, is that a motion?
Yes, and I'll second.
Oh, yes, that is a motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Nicole? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, that was relatively easy. We have next public comment on agenda items. That is 3 minutes each. And who'd like to go first?
Maybe you want to just read the agenda items so everybody's clear what the agenda items are.
Oh, the agenda items, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The agenda items are the presentation about the biofilters at the landfill, presentation about the Harvest Festival, the revision to social media policy, quarterly mailers with town events, regrading the highway garage property, Main and Mechanic Street and Wassaic traffic signage, status of Wassaic roadway ownership, projects requiring town landscape architect engineer, building safety and security, additional exterior painting repairs, institute new town hall documents and templates, trainings for YouTube versus continuing with Channel 22, and the Red Oak Trails. And the resolutions are accepting donation of bank run gravel by the Highway Department. And then the consent agenda is approve hiring a part-time constable, authorizing town constable to carry firearms, approve preparation and soliciting of bids for earthwork at site of the new highway garage, and authorizing the transfer of funds.
Perfect.
So that's everything on the list.
Thanks, Lou.
Welcome. Okay. Anyone have a comment? Yes?
Yes, my name is Michael Sanjel.
Oh, you have to go to the podium and identify yourself, sorry.
My name is Michael Sanjel. I live on Mechanic Street, and I'm also a member of the fire company in Armenia. Recently, we've had a lot of traffic being parked on the two-way street, and it's becoming very dangerous. We've had one serious accident this past week where 4 people were transported to the hospital. So I just want to ask that they put up no parking signs along the left side of the street or the odd number side. Because I went to pull out of my driveway and started down the street, and another guy pulled in and just decided to race me to the cars and almost hit me.
Okay.
So we had a fire engine, the ladder truck, we had a fire call, went out on that and started to go down. It's very narrow with that fire truck. Another vehicle came and he had to swerve into SJD Auctions, which is,
Mhm.
you familiar with it? Okay. had to swerve, he had to swerve in there. We had lights and sirens and horn going, and he just totally ignored it. He almost ended up in his building.
Okay.
So that's the things. The other thing is over in front of Isabella's, the new restaurant. There's a no parking sign there. And just coming here tonight, there were 3 cars past that no parking sign, which is what I believe may have attributed to the accident. Because when you pull out of there, you cannot see at all with cars that are in front of that sign.
And repeat your name, please.
Miklos Lengel, MIKLOSLENGYEL.
Okay, I'm much better
Simple
with
like John
Italian.
Smith.
Huh?
Simple like John Smith.
All right, well, it's an excellent name. I'm certainly aware that there's a problem there. We have a meeting this coming week with the Dutchess County Transportation Council. They've identified in each town areas that are most dangerous traffic-wise and are kind of determined to fix that. We have, Mechanic Street is a town road, so I've spoken to Megan about this and even gotten her catalog of signs. We will move that along more quickly. I'm sorry about the difficulty getting into your driveway.
The driveway isn't the problem, is the fire company is the problem.
Okay.
Because somebody's gonna obviously somebody did get hurt. So,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, next meeting, I'll report back on the meeting with the Dutchess County Transportation Council. Anyone else? Really? This never happens. Okay, well, we have a lot of discussion items, so it's probably just as well for all concerned. Supervisor's report is next. Okay. You may or may not have noticed, but the sidewalk to Beekman Park finally started earlier this week, and they hope to finish the end of Labor Day. I actually did see people digging up the dirt where the sidewalk is going to be, and all the cones are in place, and they are very determined to do it quickly. So let us hope now that we've gotten through all our excitement with New York State DOT that this will move smoothly. The website, we've had no complaints about ease of use, organization, content. I don't know how many people have signed up for announcements, which we'd really like to get so we can reach people in an emergency. Charlie, do you happen to have that number in your head? The number of people that have signed? Okay, that's all right. Okay, the LED sign has been up for a few weeks now and gotten positive comments, except for some guy who stopped his car next to me on the sidewalk. Well, I was on the sidewalk, he was in the road, to say that it didn't go very well with his historic house. And it's like, your historic house is not even visible from the road. But whatever. But the point is that the sign is communicating as planned. People know when meetings are, when town board and planning board and committee meetings are, which I think is a great leap forward. Hopefully in the not-too-distant future, we will also get the fire department posting on there, and the rec committee, I guess, already is posting on there, but we're going to keep working on that. The AV upgrade in this room, I think the boards have gotten used to it, and people at home have told me that the transmission is much improved. I actually watched the last planning board meeting from home, so I know it's much improved. One thing we have to figure out is whether we retain Channel 22, which is the public access channel, or whether we try to move people over to YouTube. Both Rosanna and Nicole have offered to teach older people how to get onto YouTube. Actually, you only have to tap on a link on our website, but we're trying to figure out what the right way is to do that. And that's it. So this is the third part of a planned transparency upgrade. Town hall repairs, the exterior painting work is complete, except for some exterior railings that were missed when John Noack and I walked around the building. We forgot about the ramp back there and the stairs going down there. There were some hatches not finished, and there's a stair down to the former art room where the rail is broken, so it needs to be repaired in addition to being painted. The farm market, unfortunately, attendance and vendor participation has decreased with each market over the first 4. So the town NECC and AWCO decided it wasn't sustainable and canceled the next 2 markets. I really appreciate how hard both Northeast Community Center and the Amelia Wasatch Community Organization worked on that. They really made a concerted effort, but I think there just aren't enough people to keep it going. Fountain Square and Wasaic Center. So both of those need formal drawings to move ahead. Fountain Square because we're within a DEC right-of-way, and so all of this has to be reviewed by them. And Wasaic Center also involves road work, and so we need someone who's capable of doing that. So we need to hire a landscape architecture engineer for those 2 projects, and we're going to vote at this meeting on drafting a request for qualifications and hope that we can post that at our next meeting. Or we'll be voting on posting it at our next meeting. Recreation had, well, are you going to do a report, Judy? I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah, well, Ken was making a presentation.
Okay, all right. I was just going to talk about the music series, but I'll let you. Oh, okay, thank you. Just again, another successful Monday summer concert series just ended, and I know that Recreation is working on a bunch of other projects for the fall. Habitat for Humanity contacted us that they got approval from their board to proceed with a potential 2-family house on their parcel on Mechanic Street. We're responsible for getting them a sales price, a final sales price, and we will, and then have a subdivision of the plot. So that's stuff that we have to get on. In addition to the farm market, there's other issues with NECC. I met with Christine Sargent, who's their executive director, this week, and she explained that due to big Washington budget cuts, they need to eliminate projects and fire staff because they want to make sure they can keep the food pantry alive since the number of users keeps increasing. So they have sent us notice that they're giving up their town hall office, which really never got fully staffed, but hopefully we can come up with some other programs. The 2026 budget, that time of year, thanks to Charlie for preparing a schedule for moving ahead, in other words, getting all the departments to turn in their wish list at a certain time and all that stuff. Supervisor, thanks to Rosanna, my deputy, for managing things while I took a week's vacation. I hear there were no major, problems. Love that. New business, I wanted to note that we have a tattoo parlor that opened at one corner of the intersection. And while there were rumors about what was going to go in there, the sign for rent is still up. And so hopefully we'll have a new tenant there. And old business, this is personal. Sadly, Peggy McEnroe, the proprietor of Back in the Kitchen, died recently. And I went there every Thursday since that was the only day that it was open. And I was here for turkey clubs and conversation, and I will miss her terribly, so condolences to her family. Okie dokie.
Okay, so good evening. The minutes from our last meeting of August 7th were circulated. You guys ready to move on those?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I was absent, so I can't vote.
So are you abstaining?
Sure, why not? Whatever you like, Dawn.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm also presenting the abstract for the payment of claims. So everyone, thank you for coming in and signing those and meeting with Marge. So tonight I am presenting the abstract for the supervisor to go ahead and pay claims as follows. General Fund A, $183,902.25. Highway Fund, $51,179.72. Amenia Lighting, $1,274.02. Wasaik Lighting, $490.94. Amenia Water, $9,576.21. Highway Garage Capital Project, $5,760. Route 44 Sidewalk Capital Project, $17,680.23, for a grand total of tonight's authorization from Supervisor is $269,863.37.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Nicole. I'll second. Rosanna. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, and I'm also reporting to the public that Leo, myself, and our town attorney received on August 8th the request for a special use permit from Northern Red Oak LLC. And that concludes the town clerk's report.
Okay.
I know it's later on the agenda, so I
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
get
we can.
into it.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can either do
Then.
it now or just raise it then, however.
You added it, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just raise it then,
Yeah.
in the sequence that we just discussed. Okay.
Okay,
That's it,
that's
Dawn?
it.
That was the fastest.
Well, I mean, everybody's here tonight. I don't know why they're not at the Dutchess County Fair. So anyone that is looking for something to do this week and this weekend, please visit everyone at the Dutchess County Fair. Town of Amenia is being well represented. We have goats, we have cows, we have horses. we
Marge
have a
has
lot of-
dahlias.
There's dahlias. So yes, so if everyone can get out there, support your local farmer, and all of the 4-H kids, that would be amazing.
And the fancy chickens are really excellent.
Yes.
Okay, departmental reports. We have one from DOB.
Go through the folder. All right, so in our packets tonight, I do see our building department has submitted their monthly report for July totaling $14,955.63. In our packet, we also have the water systems operation report from BRI. And I know prior, and I saw in our emails, our financial reports were circulated.
Great.
And I know Megan's here, so
Oh,
she's a department if you want.
do you, I could have sworn you were in there. Do you have anything to say, Megan?
I see
Go
her.
right ahead.
She's hiding in the crowd.
I can see her very clearly from this seat.
So we had a new employee start last week, Brian Butts, so we are back to a full crew. We got, last week, we,
Fortunate to work with Amelia through HPRC's Climate Action Planning Program.
What do we got here?
Where is that
They
coming
keep
from?
playing, so something is playing.
To produce a greenhouse gas inventory.
Oh my God, the ghost in the machine, I guess.
Maybe they don't know that we're not there yet. Yeah.
Okay.
and then last week, we got the electric line leveled out with some topsoil, and we seeded it and put some hay down.
Thank you.
I don't see it growing any grass yet, but
No, but
It's
it's
coming.
been raining, so hopefully it will.
So last week, we got Yellow City done, and we've been working on backing up the shoulders. And then today, we did our other project there on Cascade with our shared paver, with the help of Northeast, Dover, and Town of Washington. And tomorrow, we will be sweeping Wasaik, where we oiled and stoned, and also the lower part of Cascade. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Their board and committee reports. Oh, Bill, tell us about water.
Bill Flood, Chairman of the Water Committee. We had our meeting the other day, Wednesday. So just a public notice that on Mechanic Street on Monday.
Oh,
I'm speaking in the mic.
pull it
The
closer.
mic's
You're
for
too
the
tall
TV,
for it,
not
I guess.
for-
Or too tall for
So we're
Sharon.
having a shut-off on Mechanic Street on Monday. We're installing a new valve for a line that we found, that broke, and we had a leak the other day, last week. So also at the meeting, there's going to be some grants that are going to be applied to help to fund the pump house and water upgrades, which Charlie, I'm sure, will talk about later in the meeting. We've accepted or discussed the engineer's report as to what's got to be done. So that'll be part of an ongoing process here. We're also going to be proposing to increase the rates to involve payment for all water usage as a different rate in categories. There'll be single-family homes, two-family to multifamily apartment units, and commercial. There'll be a different point system, which we will discuss later, and we will be sending out letters to people in the water district explaining as to what the rates will be and how they're going to work. We also are doing our budget, getting ready to add our lines to the budget, and then we'll be developing rate categories to repay debt for the water system upgrades. So that's what we'll be doing.
Great,
So,
thank you. Anyone else? Recreation? Oop, you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna address a couple of things, but then I'm gonna come back when we talk about the Ken's presentation.
Okay.
Thank you for noting the music series. It had a couple of problems with Mother Nature and a couple of other things, but all in all, it went well. I think people had a very good time. We did present some flowers to Michelle after we named the music series after Paul. We are going to be putting some things on the website. We're planning on doing a river cruise for seniors or adults. Planning on having a trip to Resort World for gambling, which has always been pretty popular, and a few other things. So keep an eye, if you can, on the website. We're also going to try to be better about putting signs around in local places to let people know what's going on. The soccer program will be starting soon in September. Thanks to Cassidy and Nicole for working through that, since the town has taken it over. And we have some other exciting things coming up, but we will get to that later.
Great, thank you. Charlie?
I'll just say, so on the housing board, I'm not sure if the town board wants any communication from us regarding Habitat for Humanity. We did discuss it at our last meeting and we have discussed it over the last couple of years, that we are definitely in favor of it. We are proponents of, having them pay a portion of what the price of the property is. And eventually I guess it will be referred to us at some point, but so if you guys want it. I wanted to quickly just go over a few things on the finance side. I'll be really brief. We have a SAM grant for the sidewalk project, which was $50,000, and we've submitted for reimbursement for that. So, and it should have come in this week if it doesn't come in next week. There is a CREST application that Senator Henchy has earmarked money for us for the water district. That's $118,000, and we are submitting an application for that this week or next. The water district, we have submitted for funding through the state revolving fund. So that's the agency where you can get debt financing after you do your bond anticipation notes. And because we're able to claim for hardship because of our area median income in that particular area, we are eligible for 0% financing. So once the project is completed, whatever debt is still outstanding, we can roll it into a long-term bond through the state revolving fund at 0% interest. I did want to mention about the budget schedule. Not that you guys need to action something tonight, but it would be good if you could maybe put some notes on your schedule for the dates that we've laid out, because that would be very helpful. And then ultimately we need to advertise for those dates. So if we can hit them, that would be great. I will say, like last year, our biggest increase is going to be the ambulance. It is a significant amount of our budget, and it's really increasing this year. unfortunately. There's nothing we can really do about that. I have one other thing that I wanted to mention. And I circulated earlier our cash management investment report through July 31st. It's pretty remarkable. I mean, we've earned, $73,000, $74,000 year to date on cash that we aren't using. We collect real estate taxes, and we hold that and we pay it out through the year. So that is the highest that it's ever been. I've looked back for 20 years. So, and on the website, if people go to finance on the website, they will be able to see that investment report, as well as we're now posting the operating statements and balance sheets and the ARPA fund reports there as well. So you can go and you can see exactly what the budget was and how much we've spent year to date. The schedule for the budget is also there too.
Great, thank you. Any other committees or boards want to say something?
Actually, I was requested to give some kind of an update on the planning board, and I just wanted to say that they ended a public hearing with Silo on the condos D and E. There was a request, an application from R&R Cement for a storage container, which we sent to the county. There was a site visit on August 18th to Silo to go through the whole silo and look at where they want to build, what they have built, and where they want to place the condos. I also thought this might be a good time just to let everybody know what kind of information is on the website regarding the planning board. Matt, if you would just pull up that website quickly. I'll go through it, not him quickly, me, quickly go through it. Can you make it bigger? Yes. Okay, so if you go to government, all right, go to planning, and you go to planning board. All right, and if you scroll down, you can see everything is there, everything that you need to know. The names of the planning board members, all of the applications that have already been settled, all the applications that are currently in, the minutes, the agendas. If you scroll through all of that information, all the information that you want to know, and even more maybe that you don't want to know, is right there. So it's very kind of easy to circulate around, and you can see, you can look up all of the information, all the things that the planning board is now working on. So that's just kind of a quick view of what you can find on their website.
Great, thank you. Any other boards or committees?
Yeah, thank you a lot for doing that. Regarding the enhancement committee, I just had a couple of notes here. I'll read through them once I can see them. Fountain Square, there's a lot more ease of use for watering. Now that we have a 150-foot hose there that was purchased. There's been no progress for the Fountain Square as the committee is concerned on the plans for renovation. Anna has done a wonderful job of weeding and clearing out the Vases mugwort at Borden Park and the post office in Wassake. They'll be cleaning the beds at Fountain Square for Veterans Day celebration in November. That's it.
Great, thank you. Okay, last call. All right, then our next item is a presentation by Mary Lambert of HVRC about biofilters at our landfill. Our landfill produces 70% of the methane or the gases that the town spews into the environment, and they have a solution for that that's going to cost the town no money. So, can we get Mary back? Yep. Okay, thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can't see you necessarily. There we go. Oop.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, Mary.
All right,
Hi, Mary.
I will share my screen. We can get going. Okay, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, fabulous. Thank you. So first off, good evening. I am excited to be here to talk to you about HVRC, the Hudson Valley Regional Council, and our landfill biofilters project. My name is Mary Lambert. For those of you I don't know, I am a Climate Action Planning Manager with HVRC, and I'm going to first tonight tell you a little bit about HVRC and our program background, as well as our landfill biofilters project. And then a bit about next steps, and happy to take any questions at the end. I first want to thank the Supervisor Blackman, Vicki Doyle, Michael Peake, Stacey Mantle for inviting me to present to you this evening. I've had the pleasure of working with them over the last couple of years, and it's a really tremendously great group. Okay, so HVRC, we are a regional planning organization established in 1977, comprised of county governments in the Mid-Hudson region, so that's Dutchess, Orange, Putnam, Rockland, Sullivan, Ulster, and Westchester. We're based in Newburgh, actually, so just a little southwest of you across the river. And we're one of 650 regional councils, actually, in the United States that provide a regional perspective through planning, education, outreach, and advocacy for the counties and communities they serve. Here's our staff. As you can see, we are lean and small. We have a number of staff that work on the New York State DEC Climate Smart Communities Program and the NYSERDA Clean Energy Communities Program, providing technical assistance to municipalities in the Mid-Hudson region. We also have a water resources coordinator and someone who works specifically on technical assistance related to wastewater. And then I have myself, and I'm thrilled to say we have one new staff member who will be joining the landfill biofilters team. Her name is Dr. Suresh Askar. She's a PhD in environmental science, and she'll be leading the field work on the landfill biofilters project, which I'll talk about in a second. So some background. In 2023, we applied to the EPA's Inflation Reduction Act Climate Pollution Reduction Grant Program. It's kind of a mouthful. And we were selected. We were the only applicant in New York State to be selected for this grant program, and we were awarded $3.06 million over 5 years to mitigate methane on landfills in the Mid-Hudson region. And you can see the estimated greenhouse gas reductions from our project are 0.17 million metric tons CO2 equivalent. So why are we doing this project? What is the issue? Well, it turns out that municipal landfills are often the largest source of government operations greenhouse gas emissions in a given municipality. But they're too small to warrant methane capture for energy production, or even for flaring, and this is the case in Armenia. So just to step back a second, I was fortunate enough to work with Armenia in 2023 and 2024 as part of our Climate Action Planning Institute program, and through that program, the great team from Armenia created a greenhouse gas emissions inventory and a climate action plan. And the findings were striking. They revealed that 91% of Armenia's emissions actually originate from its landfill. Even though it's been closed since the 1970s, it still is producing a huge amount of methane. So we were pretty surprised by this, and actually that's one of the reasons why we were inspired to apply for this grant, because we saw these striking results from Armenia as well as from a number of other regional colonies. So this is a graph from Leith, one of your neighbor municipalities. They produced an emissions graph for their municipality without the landfill, and as you can see, its majority of the emissions are from the vehicle fleet. But then when you add in the emissions from the landfill, a talking, 93% of their emissions are from the landfill. So very similar to ammonia in that these landfill emissions really dwarf emissions from all the other sources combined. Okay, so why biofilters? So just to step back for a second, we had heard about this solution from a number of various studies going on, both in the U.S. and abroad. And really what they focus in on are something called methanotrophs, these microorganisms that live in the soil and they basically eat methane. They convert the methane into energy and other relatively harmless byproducts. So they're found in most soil, mulch, compost, but they're very effective at not only reducing methane, but also other common pollutants such as volatile organic compounds, hydrogen sulfide, and ammonia, and mitigating foul odors. So why put biofilters on landfill? So again, biofilters really just a method for mitigating methane through the use of these methanotrophs. So they're a great source of usable greenhouse gas reductions. And they also allow municipalities like Armenia to help New York State reaching its LCPA goals. In addition, you can earn points under the Climate Smart Communities Program for emissions reduction, and there's sorts of potential carbon credits. I just thought I'd say it's also an optional, two other optional components of this program. The first is to participate in a solar program. So it's not actually put solar panels on your landfill, but just to create solar feasibility and battery storage study. So the has opted into that, and we will give you more information on how feasible it will be to put solar panels on your landfill if you choose to do so moving forward. The second optional component is a native pollinator project where we will be planting pollinators along the border and the perimeter of your landfill in support of local ecosystems. So this is an opportunity to create a positive narrative of your landfill as both a source of climate mitigation and an adaptation solution. So in summary, these biofilters are efficient, they're natural, environmentally friendly, they're cost effective, and they're low maintenance, both pre and post-implementation. And many studies around the world show that biofilters reduce methane anywhere from Here's just a few papers that talk about biofiltering and biocover research from all around the world. As I mentioned, there are many papers that have been produced, have been written about biofilters and mitigating methane. So we looked at what landfills in the region had a declining gas flow and declining gas quality. Looked at landfills that were not connected to an active gas collection system, but instead had passive wells. So active wells, unfortunately, can create too much pressure, and the high flow rate is not a good fit for others. Okay, so here are the project participants who the landfills that were listed for this project. You can see that Amelia has not only opted into biofilters, but also the pollinators and the solar feasibility battery storage study. Here's a layout of the different inputs. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of talking here. We grouped them into 6 different geographic areas, and Amelia and Northeast are, you see all the red here, I would say the most eastern of the group. Okay, so here is the typical biofilter solution. You can see here that we have a tube going into the media, which will be mulch or compost for soil, and then the methane permeates up through the media, and by the time it exits the biofilter, there's basically no more methane left. So obviously, we methane future the landfill is producing. We'll look at the vent size, the layout, the distribution of the vents, as well as the topography and space availability of the landfill, and then as well as other factors, in order to design biofilters. As I mentioned earlier, the gas enters through a porous layer at the bottom and then permeates up through the soil for the biofilter medium, and then as it exits, it's treated from methane and other contaminants. So key factors in this assess these biofilters are humidity, temperature, and oxygen level. Here are two more examples of biofilters. They can be quite simple, just depending on the requirements from the municipality, but in some cases they're really just biofilter. Others, you'll see on the right, this one has been in at the line, again, based on some of the requirements of different states and different municipalities. So some of the factors that we have for us in the design of biofilters in our project, as I mentioned earlier, not only the methane concentration, but vent size, the topography, as well as local media type. We'll be looking to use media that's readily accessible and local, and obviously the cost. So we have looked at cost overall, and it does appear that it costs about $40,000-$60,000 to design and construct biofilters on a small landfill. But it's for larger landfills, and then there's the maintenance. Mulch generally needs to be replaced every 2 to 5 years, and spot treatments may be needed intermittently. Okay, so in terms of where we are, we've just produced our first flyer. I'm really excited. We're partnering with NBIT as our outreach and engagement partner, and they are producing materials that we're going to be using to educate not only the municipalities we're working with, but the region on waste, on landfills, and on these biofilter and an innovative solution to methane innovation. The project kicked off last year in the fall, and we had a great press event at the county landfill with the EPA and the DEC. We met all the relevant EPA and DEC landfill project managers. We created a quality assurance management plan, which has been submitted and approved by the EPA. We visited all 14 landfills now, and we have access to them, and we've done some initial testing on some of them. As I mentioned, we created a marketing flyer. We've hired a admin consultant to help us with quality assurance, and as I mentioned, we hired Dr. Askar as our lead environmental scientist on the project. So next, meeting with municipal legislatures, that's what I'm doing right now, to educate you on the project and answer any questions. We've asked that each of the participating landfill communities sign an memo of understanding so that we're all clear on responsibility, each of the parties, and what we'll actually be doing in the landfill. Then we'll be purchasing the monitoring equipment, conducting the baseline measurements. We have a report to the EPA coming up, and then we're going to be issuing another RFP to select a consultant for the design of it. So next steps for the municipality are to send HRC a signed memo of understanding. You do have that now. I believe it's been circulated. And then to locate your site management plan, which I actually have a copy of, so I can send that to you if needed. And then to provide HRC with relevant research and historical data related to your landfill that you or your environmental consultants may have produced. I think that's important for us if we have historical data to just help us better understand which ones are producing how much methane, in short. So that's it. Thank you again for your partnership and for inviting me tonight, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mary. Any board questions? No? Okay. Anyone from the audience have a question? Oh, Michael?
Do I stand up?
What?
I would need to go to the microphone.
Oh, he'll need to go to the microphone. Michael was ahead of you. Judy?
Oh, sorry.
Michael was ahead of you. Michael's in the back, sorry.
Hello?
Michael Peak, I'm CAC Chair and Climate Smart Co-Coordinator for the town of Amenia, along with Stacy Mantle. And I really just wanted to kind of wrap up what Mary was saying. Thank the town board for your time, for your prompt attention to the MOU, and also a big thanks to Mary Lambert and the folks, her colleagues at HVRC, who have really been an invaluable resource for the town of Amenia, given how we are so often resource challenged. And they've been a terrific partner on this project and other projects. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Judy?
I don't know if I heard at the beginning, I thought I heard you say there was no cost. Is that accurate, or is there a cost to the town?
No cost?
Yes.
I'll let Mary answer, but I don't think so.
No, there's no cost. We got this grant from the EPA, and that's covering the cost of the project.
Great. Okay. Then, Walter, you have a question?
Sorry about that, Walter Dietrich. When the planning board went to Silo Ridge this past week, they have a landfill there too that's all covered up. And I'm wondering if that's being considered too, because that's obviously producing methane.
I think it might be the same one.
Is that the same one?
Yeah, Silo is kind of built around the old landfill.
No, this was a different one. Sorry.
Oh, there is a different
Yeah.
one? Oh, exciting.
It's not applied for.
Okay. So thank you, Mary, and thanks for answering questions. And we'll move on to a second presentation by Ken Topolsky about Harvest Festival.
Thank you. I'm Ken Topolsky up on Cascade Mountain Road. Thank you all. And I want to assure you that this project will produce as minimal amount of methane as possible, depending on food trucks and other, never mind. Okay, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I sent each of you an email proposing a harvest festival. And it was a project that was designed to bring Amenia closer, for more community, and also to show off our community a little bit more. Recently, if you've been on Main Street mornings or throughout the day, there's a lot more traffic than I've seen since I've moved here. And it's not just traffic from Silo Ridge or traffic from that demographic, or it's a cross-section of our community. And it's really lovely to see. And you see that and you forget about any parking problems, you forget about traffic, you just kind of see people and smile. So this is a project designed to grow upon that. It's our first, what we hope to be, annual Town of Amenia Harvest Festival. It's scheduled for October 18th from 11 to 3 currently, and we'll be closing off Main Street, and we'll tell you a little more about that in a few minutes. And I want to give you a sense of the vibe and then some of what you can expect at this festival. October 18th is almost 9 weeks away. For us to produce this, for us to pull this off, we need to move very quickly. And we're looking for an approval this evening to keep moving forward. And though each of you has said this is a great, wonderful idea, when the first person complains that Main Street is closed and they call you, you're going to say, we didn't authorize it. And right now it's, well, who put it together? I don't know, a bunch of people from Amenia, call them. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I'll go through costs and safety and that sort of thing after we go through the details, so you'll be able to be a little more informed. So to give you a vibe of what we're hoping to do, if you can go to the next slide, please. We're going to be putting up booths. We're going to have everything from face painting to the county health van to do screenings, to Congressman Ryan's CARES van to help constituents who are having problems with any government institution, be it a visa or Medicaid Medicare, a passport. They've already committed. They're preparing the flyers. So we want to stop them if it turns out you're not in favor of this. If you go to the next slide, decorating will consist of all the seasonal things. Hopefully we can do as well as you did in front of the entrance here last year. And at night, if you're not around, we'll steal some pumpkins if they're available. So next, Van. And a lot of this will be, it's all family-centric, which when Judy reports on a lot of the events, you'll get a sense of what we mean by family-centric. Next, Van. Of course, food will be a big issue. We'll have all the vendors approach all of the local stores. Was that bad? Oh, Leo. Okay, I'll up the energy and it's great to see all of you. Now, we started asking the food vendors on Main Street if they want to participate, and we know the Silo Bakery said, yeah, they'll put a table out, they'll have their store open. We'll be approaching all the others once we get an approval from you tonight, which I hope is forthcoming. And for those of you, next slide, who didn't have anything to eat before the meeting, see you on the 18th. Let's go to the next slide. And again, we mentioned family-centric. Judy will talk more about that. And next slide. There'll be music playing. One of the things I'm excited about is our church, by our friends out in Smithfield, is sending their choir to be one of the acts, backed up by this band? No. Anyway, and of course, we have a representative of that choir here tonight. And I think I'll write the review on that one for the paper.
Could you tell us which street you're talking about?
Main Street from 22 by the bank down to Mechanic Street. And there'll be maps coming up in a minute or two, just below this. And I think at this point, I'll hold up and I'll let Judy tell you about rec, and then I'll let Charlie fill in with the details and the approvals and the logistics. Leo, you missed the best part.
Is it over? No.
It's just getting started. How long? What do I get? Thank you.
Okay, so we have a lot of plans. Hopefully, we will be able to accomplish most of them, but even if we accomplish half of them, it should be very nice. I know they have street fairs up in Millerton. I know I've been told before I moved up here, there used to be street fairs here, which is a wonderful thing. Getting the community together is a very important part of keeping a town moving and growing, which we all, I assume, want. Not necessarily growing into a city, but growing in a way that helps us all. We're planning on, I mean, some of the simple things are, we're trying to coordinate with other groups. The Amenia Library is going to have crafts and games for the kids, so that when parents want to walk around and perhaps go check out the booths and the food fair, the kids have somewhere to go. Our rec is going to work with them. We're going to involve things like pumpkin painting, pumpkin bowling, which I don't know about that, but that's something that the library brought up, and it sounds very nice. A witch's hat ring toss. Because it's so close to Halloween, we're going to have a costume parade as the end of the event. We're going to have the kids bring their costumes, dress up. We're going to have categories that they can compete in. We'll give out prizes, but it should be really nice for them all to get a chance to show off their costumes that we all spend lots of money on more than one night for the year. We're also going to have activity stations. We're going to do face painting. Our plan is to rent some bouncy houses. Going to try to involve animals. I know 2x2 has been here a while. we're also going to we're reaching out to the fire companies to see if they would like to sponsor. Now, it was mentioned maybe a beer tasting, but there could be something else. We're going to reach out to them and see if they would like to provide some community fun also. And then we're going to have music. We're going to have the crew band, which was our first band here. We're going to have another band. I don't remember the name, Ken, but we'll have lots of music. It's our plan is to make it something that people really can get into the spirit of and have a community event. So hopefully that will work out.
Okay. I got a little emotional thinking about, I don't know, the band, Paul, dressing up. I just like, it's all like, I'm sorry. So can you just scroll up just a little bit? So I'm the logistics person. People were asking what portion of Main Street would be closed. So this is the junction of 343, 22, and 44. So from the bank to Mechanic Street, we have applied and been granted a permit from New York State DOT. This is New York State DOT road. If you go to the next slide, maybe the next slide after that. For our grant, we had to propose where we would do traffic control. So we have to employ Dutchess County sheriffs to have a man or woman or person at the junction of 343, 22 and at Mechanic Street to direct traffic. The detours would be as you're traveling north on 22 would be to turn onto Old 22 and then to Railroad and Mechanic to go around if you needed to go east. And then if you were coming south on 2244 and needed to go east, we would have, if you go to the next slide, signage, further north so that you could take Old North and around to get to 343. We clearly have parking issues. So if you go to the next slide after, okay, this is a good slide. The blue shows potential parking spaces. So probably the best would be at Judge Manning. We need to approach him. I mean, normally he's amenable for things that happen at the fire department. So we're hoping that there would be, we'd have parking there, which is very walkable. Clearly the lower parking lot at Town Hall, which is the upper little blue spot. Yes. We need to speak to Four Brothers to see if they would be amenable for parking in their lot. It's a bit congested there. And then also at Beekman Park, we've approached Silo Ridge about being able to use their golf carts. They have very large golf carts that could possibly ferry people from one of these parking lots if they were incapable of walking. Somebody who was in a wheel, who used a walker or something like that. We've seen a lot of events that do that. So. I want to bring up cost. So there is a cost for the Dutchess County sheriffs. They charge by the hour, and Ken can go over kind of what the budget will be. But for the traffic control stuff, it would be that and some signage, and we would have volunteers. Ken's done an amazing job of getting, dividing all of the labor up and then having all of those people. He's a good delegator. I could learn from that. So one little thing I will say, which has been amazing about this, and Ken was the driver of it, it's brought so many of our committees together to work together, and it just feels good. So do you guys have any questions about this?
I have a comment. I just wanted to add to what you said. So originally this started out as a connecting the dots, where all the chairs came together to talk about, projects that we've done in the past and where we're going. And it evolved into this, which is really a community effort. And it is great to see people, sitting down around a table and coming up with a project from the different committees, Charlie with the Housing Board and Ken with Economic Development and Judy with Recreation and others. And it's just really good to see the committees coming together for a common goal. So I just wanted to reinforce what you said.
Thank you, Judy and Charlie. As far as how this came together, we've only met 3 times. We have the DOT complete and approved. We have we have Congressman Ryan's office committed. We have a soft commitment, we're hoping, from Dutchess County Health Van. We have advertising commitments, we believe, from the Militant News, as well as Lakeville, from Northern and Southern Dutchess, and from Main Street. Main Street covers Litchfield County, it covers Dutchess County, it covers Putnam County, across the river, here it covers Columbia, it covers Greene, it covers Ulster, and it covers Orange. When you think about that, they're going to see, the residents of those counties are going to see a quarter-page ad throughout the month of October about this. We also hope to run ads at the movie house prior to each showing, ads at the drive-in. We might be able to get John Stephanopoulos to star in it if we're lucky. I guess you haven't seen his commercials. Or maybe you have. I'm conservatively saying, well, maybe we'll get 200 people. But this could attract upwards of 500 and then some for 30 days. We'll be having ads, PSAs running on WAMC. Reached out to them. And we'll have rack cards, lawn signage. There'll be a lot of visual and oral reminders of this event. And why not? It should show off a town we all have pride in. This event, as I said, will bring people together and will serve this community. When we look at the health van, that does blood pressure screening, diabetes screening, training on how to use naloxone, which we have something out front, but while someone's dying on the ground, you want to read directions. It will have CPR training. I mentioned what Congressman Ryan's CARES van does. We're also looking to expand the community service. We're going to ask Weebatuck if they can have some of their students participate for community service. And as I said, we're bringing in a choir from that community across the hill. The only time I've been there to see some public event was when you have to pay to be a member of the Garden Club to tour a property. This is the first time I think I will ever see Smithfield and the hamlet of Amenia together doing something. The hope is next year when you do this, whoever does it, sets it up in Wassaic. And who knows where, so that annually we show off the town of Amenia. In terms of cost, I'm estimating right now $10,000 to $12,500. However, my goal is to get as many contributions as possible without soliciting them personally, just as it's not appropriate or legal. We already have $500 committed, and that's without even promoting it, just telling someone this is going on, and it's, well, what do we do? So that's it. I'm happy to answer questions. It would be great. I mean, this pretty much speaks for itself. We can find 100 reasons to say no, be it liability, or be it notice, or be it what about the residents here. Easy. But our jobs, your jobs, all of our jobs is to find a way to say yes. And I'd like you to find that way to say yes this evening. Not by resolution, by a simple motion giving us the authority to proceed upon receipt of a budget. Any questions?
I again want to add something. I also want to say that we are including everybody in the community. As was mentioned, Silo has offered their golf carts, and they're pretty nice golf carts. And
a food truck.
And food truck. And also the Torres Brothers, they have their big event, and they have lots of decorations, and it happens to end on the 14th. So they're donating all of their hay bales and their zinnias, or I guess mums, and, you know, pumpkins for decoration, so those are all, you know, coming from the community. So it really is a nice bringing together of the community, and everybody's kind of pitching in, so I think that's a good thing.
Okay. Two things you reminded me of. One is on the 3rd of October, we'll put up a banner across the street celebrating this, using the colors, making sure you see Armenia in large font. And also, the hay bales, we're going to line the street with hay bales. We'll put them in front of the various food trucks, and that's where people will sit. We'll create a little amphitheater out of hay bales. So,
And then people can take them all home for their own decorations, and then that we don't even have cleanup, right? I mean,
it should only be so.
Can we do a motion from this, or should we hold this for the new business or
It would be up to
other matters?
to the board, if they want to give a vote to state that they're in support of the project and proceeding on it, then you could vote tonight, or it's up to you guys. If there's more information you want, or if you want time to review,
Okay.
whatever you want, that's up to you guys.
I
Well,
think we
go
should,
ahead.
well, I think we should do it right now, you know, since we just had the presentation, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So I move that the board of the town of Armenia agrees to support the idea of a harvest festival, which is a great idea, and we will take a formal vote once we see a budget.
Okay? We will proceed unlocking our advertising and get you a budget within the next few weeks.
Great.
Thank you all. And thank the community and all those people who have worked so hard to put this together to date.
Including your wife.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Came up with the logo.
And Nicole, yes, and her daughter for the logo, which is beautiful. That's right.
Okay, we have, I'm afraid, too many discussion items, but hopefully we can get through them relatively quickly. Brad, do you want to talk about your new and improved social media policy?
Certainly, I ditched the whole idea of the social media policy completely. So it just became way too complicated. So what I did is I rewrote a new policy. It basically focuses on the website and the digital sign. That simple. It's very clean, it's very neat, it's very short. You guys all have reviewed it. I think you gave me a comment. You
Yes,
said it was
because
really-
I don't like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of words because people don't read it, so
Yeah.
it's done in a format that's really spelled out, very clear, very simple.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read the purpose, unless you don't want me to read the whole thing, do you?
No, but you can read the purpose.
Okay, the policy governs, hang on a second here. I apologize. This policy governs the management, contact, and public use of the town of Armenia's official digital communication platforms, including the town website and any digital message displays. These tools promote transparency, share timely information, and foster community engagement. And that's what our goal is. And then there's just some very basic criteria. One of the big things is, which I think we all agree on, is that there'll be one point person on this. Everything goes to one point person, and then they post, which just happens to be this person in the room who's sitting over there not paying attention.
Yeah, poor Dawn, because she needs more
Dawn.
stuff to do.
Yes?
Of course.
Of course, so we're good to go.
Oh, yeah, I guess you should have asked first.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you, Brad.
The quarterly mailers, I think, is Nicole?
Yes, so I did some digging through Breck's old vouchers and that Katie had in a binder, and I reached out to More and More Printing, and she was kind enough to give us the same quote, but for for 300 less. So Katie had ordered 2,300 and it was $850 for 2,300. I found the voucher for the mailer portion for all the zip codes in our district that it went to, including PO boxes, and we only sent it to 1,700.
Oh.
So I didn't feel like we needed 600 extra mailers. So I dropped that number down to 2,000, asked her for a quote on that, and she kept it the same, $850. You figure with inflation, She kept it the same. And she did mention that it was a discount to us anyway, for the town. Because I did price it out through Canva, and for 1,000, it was 500. So staying with more and more, and it would be local, cheaper, and probably faster to
Great.
get them printed. The cost, not that I've reached out to the post office to get a new quote, but looking back at the voucher just in 2024, when the last mailer was sent, it was $469.
Where is the point of this was to kind of give people a heads up of things that were happening or coming up in town?
Right, so any functions, events are going on in town, not only even just rec. Cassidy's reached out to the library to, like the car show through the Lions Club. Anything can be on there. In the past, we've had events from Hope Rising Farm on there. So any local nonprofit events that are going on, they can reach out and we will put their info on the mailer. And it's for 3 months. And if I can get it out soon enough, I believe Judy said we actually have the budget in Rec's budget to do the mailer for this year. So if I can get this moving, and I already started working I found the PDF file from Katie that I still had for the old mailer.
Oh.
And I figured, actually, I probably could have reached out to Stacy too and gotten it from her. But I have it, I'm already working on it, kind of updating it. Cassidy gave me a list of events we have. Also, what we typically put on there was pickleball nights on there, the volleyball, line dancing, karate is all listed on there with dates and times. I think the only thing we were thinking of is how much can we extend it? How much do we extend it? We do have the LED sign, so I don't know if it's really necessary to put the board meetings on there, the different committee meetings on there, because as I'm looking at it now, just with what we already have for functions that are weekly for rec, and then if we wanted to add on like the monthly events that we're trying to do, like the senior trips and everything, it's full. It fills up fast. So, and like I said, rec has the budget, the line to do it, and we could actually potentially fit in September as well. We could do September to December.
So are we talking quarterly on this?
Yes,
So yeah, that will work itself out as far as content.
yes.
Yeah,
You know, it involves being proactive. You have to know 3 months in advance what you're
Right.
doing to make it worthwhile to send out to people. But it can be done, we've done it. And people miss it on their fridge, so.
Okay.
But that's the cost.
Great. The regrading of the highway garage property is a separate contract. The intent of that was to be able to start that project sooner, and also to kind of bite off a piece that local contractors could actually bid on. We thought that the whole project is going to be sort of too big a scale to actually get local builders to participate in, but this seemed like a good way to get that out sooner. I think this was discussed last time?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I won't belabor it then, unless there's any questions. Okay? Main and Mechanic Street and Wasaic traffic signage. So I'm very aware that there were 2 accidents, or an accident and a near accident, at the intersection of Mechanic Street and 343. We are going to be meeting, I think it's this week, with people from the Dutchess County Transportation Council, because they're doing a safety master plan for the county. And Mechanic Street is actually a town road, but that intersection is actually DOT controlled, who we've worked with before, and that's always not always the easiest, but Dutchess County Transportation Council feels that they can put pressure on their bigger sister agency to help us out. So there obviously are a lot of issues in terms of traffic and signage. There's the no parking issue. There's the parking in front of the post office being inaccessible too much of the day. There are issues with the speed of traffic and signage, and also Wasaic has complained because they've had big trucks going through there, one of whom actually pulled down the electric wires. You hadn't heard about that, Megan? Everyone complains, just me? So unfair. Oh, anyway, I think that, again, that's town roads, and we have the opportunity, with Megan's help, to actually come up with some signage that will maybe divert trucks or at least get people to slow down when they get into Main Street in Wassaic. So anyway, all that's going to be discussed with the Dutchess County Transportation Council, and hopefully we can pull all that together and get some changes made.
Can I say one thing?
Sure, Bill.
It needs a red light at Mechanic Street and 44. That's what it needs.
Okay. Next is the status of the Wassaic roadway ownership. Ian kicked off this process a while ago trying to get clear title to the middle of Wassaic. There's one triangle that shows up on some old maps that is pretty much all within the roadway in the middle of Wassaic, and Ian was very afraid that we start on a project and some heir appear and try to take their triangle back. I think that's not so likely because it's almost all roadway, number one, so I don't think I could really make a claim. But we have tried. Ian hired a title search company who did a lot of looking. A lot of documents were being microfished, and we didn't have access to them. We got access to them. The next tranche of, anyway, it's a whole horrible long story, which I won't bore you with. But I'm feeling like if we don't, we asked our local politicians for help, and they were very helpful. But because what we need now is at surrogate's court, it's kind of very restricted in terms of who can get to it. So anyway, so I think that we need to think about moving ahead with the Wassaic project, not the Wassaic project, but this project in Wassaic, regardless of the title issue, because I think, A, it's in the middle of the road, and B, we actually don't know that there are any heirs to the person who originally owned it. None have been found so far. So I just wanted to sort of discuss that because I'm sort of out of patience. The enhancement committee would really like to get going, and we have done other projects in that part of Wassaic. We put up lighting and other things. I mean, streetlights and other things.
Can you just tell us where it is, what you're talking about, what triangle?
Oh, the triangle. There's a weird triangle that belonged to one of the merchants along Main Street a long time ago. It doesn't have a number on Dutchess County parcel access. It's not, the triangle isn't shown, it's just all shown as part of Main Street. Yeah, it's Main Street. It basically, the wide end is towards the railroad track crossing, and the narrow end is getting towards your store, but not that far, maybe as far as the post office or the Lantern. So it's a very strange piece of property that I'm sort of hoping is just a phantom piece of property.
The bridge end.
No. So any thoughts?
Sure. First and foremost, as far as any funding, Ian and I have already discussed this, but, and I'd rather he said it, but as far as spending taxpayers' tax money on property that we don't own, maybe you want to carry that on a little bit. Ian.
Where is, are we
We're
pending?
talking about across.
No,
the
I know that.
Atlantic.
Are we pending still on the title search?
Yeah.
Or is that completed and we didn't find anything?
No, the issue was that the title search resulted in
Inconclusive.
no, it's like it dead ends in 1916, where there was a surrogate court file. The last person in ownership passes away. That surrogate court file, when they probated the will and everything, to indicate where or how any of this may have been distributed, that file is part of a 9-year microfiching project by the state, which is in probably year 6 or 7 at this point. It's coming closer to an end, but it was, when we started this and found out, it was like in year 5. It was like, so So you can't get the file. We've been trying different ways to try to find the file. So it's been a very long and arduous process to deal with that, but the file has just not been accessible. And so we've tried other ways to try to figure out how to get around it. And so we had an idea to get a search done on some of the areas that we know of, and we're in the process of trying to do that now.
Mhm.
Is this where the old Lamson Mill stable used to be?
I don't think, no, not there at all. It's on Main Street. It's.
I was gonna
it's
say, this is the
parking lot.
median, I call it, sorry. The median that separates like the road from the parking, where the green building
It
is.
isn't the raised park. It's north of the raised park.
Yeah, is that what she's? the
It's
railroad
kind of
station?
where the railroad station was, except it's in the middle of the road. It's not where the
Where
station
the
was.
Christmas tree was, across the street from the store, the Christmas tree. The raised bed.
No, it's not
Right in
that.
the center of town.
It's not that?
It's not the raised bed, which I'm told is a park, number
Paul
one.
Thompson used to put the mail out so they could grab the mail on the way, and that space where that building was, where he hung the mail out.
Ah, okay.
So that's not the piece you're talking
Like,
about?
everybody shared those things. It was part railroad, part US Mail, part Paul Thompson being a good guy.
So my point is here that we've delayed this for a year and more.
Is this
And
the park that you're talking about with the bench?
it's not the park with the bench. There's some bizarre, like ghost parcel in the middle of the street. And I just think that we're spending a lot of time and money and preventing enhancement from going ahead. And I just think at a certain point you have to, we've been fishing for a long time. I think it's time to cut bait because the town has done other work on that property in terms of streetlights and other things. And I just think it's kind of ridiculous at this point. I don't think we can keep waiting and waiting, hoping that we find a mysterious heir. Because they couldn't take it back anyway, because it's in the road.
We were searching for heirs, not so much that they're gonna take the property back, but so that they would actually, we could convey title into the town, so we could properly own the property, so then you can maintain it and do what you have to do.
And Megan,
Or what you want to do.
Megan, it's a town road, you don't have any documentation or plans or anything of that.
No, but them lights are in the railroads.
They're railroads right of way, right. And then the ones that are on the raised bed are within the town's right of way, or Main Street. So anyway, does anyone agree with me, or we'll just keep waiting?
Well, again, my only thought is, if we're using taxpayer money to enhance the park versus volunteer money, volunteer money is the easy answer.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
But
But as a town, do we have a right, or would we be, would it not be within our code to do something like that? He's sitting right here.
Well,
Well, and we've talked about it extensively.
yeah, I mean,
But they need to hear
yeah,
it.
we've talked about the
Yeah.
issue about investing taxpayer funds in land you don't own.
Yeah, but they need to hear it, is all I'm saying.
Yes, and I think that.
You can't do it.
There, thank you. That was so difficult for some reason.
Yeah, well, we do have an issue here because Ian likes everything to be 110% sure, and I'm probably okay with 85. But no one else is interested, so we'll pass on
Well, it's
that.
that other percentage that could be a lawsuit, I don't like that.
I know you hate lawsuits, Brad. Okay, so the next item is the projects requiring a town landscape architect and engineer. There are two projects. Wassaic may not be in the mix now, but the park at Fountain Square, in order to do the,
Yeah, me either. I'm sorry. That was perfect.
The project in Wassaic would be one, but the project at Fountain Square, which the bank has graciously offered to fund, is another, where it's in a New York State DOT right-of-way, so we need for real drawings. We had people who were willing to donate some stuff earlier, but when we realized that it was actually within the purview of the DOT, it required more serious drawings and a full bid process, whereas most of the money would have been provided by local people, but we need more drawing to make this happen and to do bidding. So I think that we should put out an RFQ for, we don't have an RFQ yet, but put out an RFQ. We do have an RFQ, but we're not voting on that tonight. We are, I just want to make everyone aware that there's a real need for this. There are other projects. Rec is working on stuff. We're soon going to be working on, with a planner on some stuff. And we need someone who actually has the resources and the knowledge to draw that up. So that's as far as I was planning to go on that. Any comments or thoughts?
Yeah, kind of. The RFQ that we had been given,
Right?
the community facilities, is that we're going out for the project? Is that what's included in the project, or is that just naming facilities that we have? Is that specifically what we're looking to work on?
No.
Okay.
So the RFQ process allows you to identify a landscape engineer, and those are some of the community facilities that we have. The town board would decide if it's one of those projects or it's another project that you
scope
wanted
is.
to assign to
Okay.
them. Yeah. It seems that the town has need frequently for a landscape engineer. What we really should do, if we do a request for qualifications, you can choose one and then use them for all of the projects that you decide to.
And that's really necessary for like the traffic improvements we want to make on Main Street, because it's all DOT property, New York State DOT property, and they are
Yeah.
very specific, as we've learned on the sidewalk
Yeah,
project.
you told me
Well,
your
that's
your
the
drawings
list.
aren't good enough.
I'm sorry, that's the list we're talking about?
We need more.
Potential projects?
Yeah,
All right. So
That
what
was
it
the
is, it's Wassaic, Hamlet, Main Street, and Ray's Memorial Park, Armenia Main Street, Fountain Square, Main Street Basketball Court, Skate Park, Armenia Town Hall, Beacon Park. That's what's on the list.
and of course, I hope that Rec is near receiving a grant to hire someone for that. I mean, to sort of figure out rec facilities.
Right now, we've got an RFP, which we said to have Ian look over for us. And the application is supposed to go in mid-September.
Okay, great. Let's see. The building and safety and security is Rosanna's baby.
So, I took the violence in the workplace, did the video, and every time I see that, some issues come up. So one of the things that, and I always, right after I get done, I call Dawn, and I said, do we have? So, and she gives some suggestions. So one of the things I wonder about are keys. I mean, there seems to be a lot of keys out there. I mean, do we really know where all the keys to the building are? Is it time to, rekey the building? Is it time to look into using,
Badges.
using badges like they do at school, upgrading our system? And I don't think having name tags is a bad idea, for employees or people of the town, identifying who they are. I think that is something that we can do. The other questions I have is, why the front door, the main door coming in, doesn't have the crash bar or the push bar? The other doors, I think, all do. Do you know why?
Yeah, because I think some of it had to do with what the school had, and some of it was just, I think, left alone. I asked that question a while ago. I mean, there's a cost to it, but I think it absolutely should get a push bar, because it's a safety issue now.
Yeah, well, and I agree. I think we should look into the cost of that. The other question I have, the other concern I have is when you walk in and there's those stairs that, the doors that go upstairs, it says, nobody go up after 5 p.m., like everybody's going to pay attention to that sign. So, I'm wondering if we shouldn't have some kind of a safety thing there where the door can be locked and it could be a push bar on the other side as well. But, and maybe somebody can be, after hours, somebody could be buzzed in. And again, I don't know how much that costs, but I think it's something that we could look into. The other concern that I've heard is that the back door is often left unlocked. and open, so I think that we really need to be diligent about that. There should be only one unlocked door during the day, and that should be the main door. And so, you know, again, do we have fire drills? Do we have shelter-in-place drills? Do we have a plan for shelter-in-place? Does anybody know if we have a plan for shelter-in-place? Dawn?
Not shelter in place, but we used to do fire drills with some of our former constables. I do some of them, I do see ones coming back tonight. So with our prior crew, they used to do that. So it has been a little bit. So.
I'm sorry, so it was done by the constables, not the fire department?
No, our town staff.
Town constables.
The town
Yeah.
constables, okay.
The
but they're-
boys.
It's the boys, okay.
So we should have a procedure and a plan for that. You know, and I also think that it wouldn't hurt to have some walkie-talkies. Do we have walkie-talkies?
We do not.
I think that might be something we could have for, you know, to be able to contact people in case there is some kind of an emergency. And I think we should have a shelter-in-place plan. I know, Leo, you say this is a really safe town and nothing ever happens here, but it never happens until it happens, so I think it doesn't hurt to be prepared.
Okay, well, when we can find out some of the costs involved, I would be more amenable. It just seems to me that that's maybe an enormous expense.
So New York State ADA compliance issues for renovations and new constructions. Ramps and elevators, accessible restrooms, signage with braille, doorways with enough for wheelchairs. Those are some basic things that are already dictated, and we may not have all those things.
Well, if you're interested in going around and checking, I would be delighted, Brad.
Well, I wouldn't do that, but I'm not supervisor.
Yeah, but you're a town board member. That doesn't free you of all responsibility. Okay, so are people interested in having Rosanna examine that further?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. 8, exterior painting repairs, additional repairs. When I went around with John Nowak, I think, got most of the exterior painting. Of greatest concern was that the steel lintels above the windows were rusted out because they hadn't been painted in such a long time. So that's all been fixed by now, but there were a few things that we didn't put on the list originally. Including the rails for the stair out there, the rails for the ramp down to the playground. There were some hatches on the other side, and there's a set of stairs down to the former art room, which is pulled out from the wall now and needs to be reconfigured, needs to be repaired. So we got a price for that from the same painter, and it's less than $1,000. So I think that's just going to come out of the building maintenance fund because it's just completing a project that we already started. The new town hall documents and templates. You were sent examples of letterhead, agenda, and minutes, and I wondered if people had comments on that.
I got it so late in the day that I really haven't had.
Oh, it just came today?
It just came today,
Okay.
and I think we need to take a look at
Yeah,
that.
okay, that's
Maybe-
fine, then we
Yeah,
can
there's just no
discuss
way-
it next time.
Yeah, it's just no way when you get something so late.
Also, I think we might want to wait until we get a logo.
The seal finished.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. That would be nice.
Okay, and the next question was about how we want to handle Channel 22 going forward, our public access station. I've been told, yeah, go ahead, Rosanna.
And I am going to refer that to the man behind the screen back there, because he can explain what has to be done for us to go on Channel 22.
Are you allowed to do that, Matt?
Can you step away from the computers?
Okay. Good idea.
I'm the man behind the screen, so, so with Channel 22, we basically had to get another device that can keep the slideshow, so to speak, that everybody's kind of used to going. keeping it separate from the current system we have, I think will be good for not only security purposes, but also to, maintain the longevity of that system. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to get another device that will be able to run the programming that will show, different meeting reruns and also the town flyers and things that was currently or previously there, so.
All that stuff is on the website, though. I mean, does it make sense for us to spend the money to,
We can do it pretty low cost. I mean, it's all really up to the town. I mean, that's, we can either do it the traditional way as there, or like you said, you have a brand new website that people can visit. So it's really up to you all what you want to do. If you want to continue having that, information replayed on there to constant, we just got to get another device and we can get a cost analysis together for that. It doesn't have to be that expensive. The devices are relatively cheap.
and do we
so-
pay Channel 22, or is that free?
No, it's part of the.
It is free,
yeah.
okay. Well, if you could find out, I assume from Jeff, like what that would cost to purchase that and hook it up. I mean, I think since we have now a social media policy, I think it's sort of too bad that we'd be relying on something so old school as opposed to trying to direct everyone to the website, which was part of that policy. I realize there are some people who don't know how to use YouTube, but it's just clicking a link on our website. And I know that Rosanna and Nicole have already offered to give a couple of classes if anyone doesn't know how to do that. So we can discuss that further, but I know there have been people asking for it,
Let's get a cost.
we'll find out what
Yeah.
it costs.
Our
Okay.
contract with Cablevision is through 2032. So Matt and I had this conversation. I was asked to talk to Matt about what it would take, and it was just coincidental that it's an agenda item.
Yeah.
So he had the heads up. So we did look at the contract.
2032?
We had a
Okay.
10-year contract the last time when we signed with
Okay.
Cablevision. So the channel itself is not going away. It's just trying to return the computer that was taken away when we went to this,
Okay.
to set up in here.
If I were to guess right now, I'd say it would probably be a few $100s, which would update everything. The main concern is just, as the technology increases here, the technology with Cablevision has not really kept up, so it's just integrating it all together, so.
Yeah, Jeff seemed to think it was going to be phased out in the next few years. I think
Yeah.
that was part of the decision, too.
Cablevision is technically Optimum, correct?
Yes.
Altice.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and the last thing was about the Red Oak Trails, and Ian, I think you can address that.
Yeah, so they came, they presented, I spoke with the attorney, and he was under the impression an application had been filed. I had indicated to him that we had never seen, or there was never really an application that was formally filed. So that has now been remedied, as Dawn had mentioned earlier. So I think at this point in time, my recommendation to this board would be to make a motion to acknowledge receipt of the Northern Red Oaks LLC's application for a special use permit for the Amenia Trails project, and to refer that application to the planning board for review and preparation of the application, together with preparation of site plan, seeker review, for ultimately a presentation and recommendation to the town board for approval.
So has the application actually been submitted?
Yeah.
It has been.
Yeah, on August 8th.
August 8th, okay.
Yes, they emailed it to Leo, myself, and Dawn, so
Okay,
they've
maybe,
submitted it at this point.
yeah, maybe I should have a look at it. Yeah.
You mean before moving to send this to the planning board?
Absolutely not. I just want to take a look at it. You
Yeah,
guys,
we can-
no,
yeah.
I'm not stalling anything, I really.
Oh, all right, well then, I'd
Yeah,
make a
you can
motion that
circulate
we...
to the board, but there's.
And I am seconding.
Yeah, I could move his motion, that would be
Somebody
great.
needs to, if the board wants to do this, someone needs to adopt my motion, because
He
I.
just did. I just asked Leo, are
Okay,
you
good.
moving your motion? He goes, yep. Nicole
Oh.
We're
wants to
good.
second it. Move this along.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Brad, you want to see it?
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
yeah,
First one to
thanks.
hand it to.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank Deidre Houston, who's hidden in the audience back there, because she made an effort to find the missing documents for the Wassaic property and was unable to do so. She was rebuffed by her political fellows. So, but thank you very much for trying. I really appreciate it. And the only item we have on the non-consent agenda is about the donation of the bank-run gravel by the Highway Department. And primarily, Ian recommended we do that just so we can give an appropriate thanks to the person who donated it, which maybe, Megan, you want to do? You're a little, I mean, I don't mean to surprise you or throw you under the bus, but well, you can explain the situation too, if that makes it better.
Yeah, so the donation is coming from Craig Humans. He lives on Sharon Station Road on the northeast side. He's putting a addition on his house, and it'd be roughly like 600 tons, give or take, of bank runs. Nice, good, clean bank run. He needs to get it out of there, and he offered it to us. So it's, I mean, we can use it on our dirt roads, in the muddy spots, try to, rebuild some spots, and possibly down to the highway garage maybe.
And the town is allowed to
New
accept
highway
such
garage.
gifts.
And the new highway garage.
And the new highway garage, right. So, why don't I just, Nope, not that one. Are you having fun? Jesus Christ. You took mine. Resolution number 90 of 2025, authorizing the Town of Amenia Highway Department to accept donation of approximately 600 tons of bank run gravel to be used for town roads. Whereas pursuant to Town Law 64-8, the Town Board of the Town of Amenia, the town, may take by gift, bequest, or devise and hold real and personal property absolutely or in trust for parks or gardens, or for the erection of statues, monuments, buildings, or structures, or for any public use upon such terms or conditions as may be prescribed by the grantor or donor and accepted by said town, and provide for the proper administration of same. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Amenia, on behalf of the Town of Amenia Highway Department, would like to accept from Craig Yeomans a donation of approximately 600 tons of bank run gravel to be used by the Town of Amenia Highway Department for town roads and other highway department needs. Now therefore be resolved as follows. The recitations set forth above are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. The Town Board of the Town of Amenia, on behalf of the Town of Amenia Highway Department and all the residents of the Town of Amenia, hereby gratefully accepts this donation from Craig Yeomans for the purposes set forth above. I'll make that motion.
I second it with gratitude to Craig for donating.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Megan, for making that happen.
We start hauling tomorrow.
He's got quite a hole there. He's got quite a hole there. Yeah.
So the items on our consent agenda are hiring a part-time constable, authoring the town constable carry firearms, approving the preparation and soliciting of bids for earthwork at the site of the new highway garage, and authorizing transfer of funds.
You're moving those?
I'd like to move those items ahead.
I second.
And just so everyone knows, that's going to be identified as resolution number 91, 92, 93, 94 respectively. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, that was easy. Other matters, town board comments.
Other matters. So, at the planning board, there was some concern about the new local laws for the planning and zoning board. So, and they would like the opportunity to make comments, so I make a motion that we authorize the town clerk to circulate said local laws to the planning board and the zoning board for comment.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, get done on Monday.
Okay. Any other town board comments or
I
matters?
just wanted to say that we have procured the vending machine
Oh, good.
for the Narcan and the fentanyl strips, and there's another testing thing, I can never remember the name of it. And it should be here, I think Dawn, they said by the end of October.
Yes. We'll keep them posted, yes.
Okay. All right. No one else has anything? Okay, just checking. All right, then, next is public comment on all business or any business, 3 minutes each. Oh, we have some more, but I've got to get some water, because
We'd like me to keep time.
Thank you.
keep me up catch me up when I come back.
I thought you'd want to hear this part, Leo.
Oh, sure, what?
I thought you'd want to hear this. I get up here during almost every meeting, and I usually come up, and on the walk, I start changing my attitude to how do we make what you do work, to why are they doing this again? And I realize that what I've never said is thank you to all of you. I've never come up here to do anything but complain. And that's a lot easier sometimes. And if I've ever been egregious, I apologize. But more importantly, thank each of you for all that you do. I don't know what you get out of it, but you must get a lot, and you give back far more than you could ever get. So thank you. This is not a complaint. Now I'll move on to my complaint.
You should have reversed that, Ken.
It simply starts with a question. Will you be holding a board hearing on October 2nd, Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the Jewish New Year?
No, that was actually my other matter, and I forgot. I wrote it down on the second sheet.
Thank you.
Yes, we will need to discuss an alternate date.
So I have to thank you. I can't complain?
Right.
You can complain, I mean, I'm entitled to, what can I say?
Thank you.
Okay, so we are going into executive session, back into executive session after this.
Hold on, there's more public
Oh,
comment.
yeah, no, I wasn't trying to shut it down, what?
We should discuss the,
Yeah. Oh, before? Okay.
yeah, it's
Just 2 points that I forgot to bring up. If you'd be so kind as to, when you talk to the county highway departments, to get signs put up for a firehouse, to let people know.
I heard that exists in other places, and we don't have it.
We don't have it. Also, we have an ambulance squad also.
Right.
So it would be nice if people would know that, hey, look out.
Okay, would you just email me at
At amenia.gov. Yeah.
So Megan, because Megan's here, Megan, do you have those signs? Because I know down in Wasaik on Firehouse Road, they have the fire truck sign. Did you guys put that up, do you know? It might have been even predated.
I did.
If there's an extra one for Mechanic Street,
Well, I think we should look at, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff we're
because
gonna
there's,
need to
well,
order
no,
from
but for
Mechanic
his
Street.
specific request, that it's a town road. It's not a county road.
Well, I'm
And
just
we
saying,
have it in
county
Wasaik
road
at our
also,
other
because
fire
we're
station.
Coming out onto the county road.
Yeah, there's, and it's a
Under the
state
state
road, not
road.
county.
So, I'm sorry.
It's a county
State
road, so
road, which
these
is
two
more
different
complicated.
entities here.
That's fine, I mean, next week, Megan, we can just make a list of all the no parking stuff and place orders. Okay?
Because they're also parking in front of the fire hydrant, so that's where
That's also true.
highway super's in the room, she's hearing your complaints.
Hi all, Deirdre Houston, Dutchess County Legislator. Just wanted to update you quickly on our legislative meeting last Monday. Our agenda was much lighter than yours. Most of it was on consent, except for the only non-consent item we had was the final resolution on inclusion for landowners and parcels into the agricultural district, our Ag District 21. And so this year we had some landowners who applied, maybe didn't fully fill their application, and we had some municipalities who didn't want some parcels to be included. But of course, as you probably know from me telling you in the past, we do have the Ag Farmland Protection Board, and we do, they do meet. Their meetings are open to the public. They are the receiver of the applications. They make the determination, and they make a recommendation to the legislature. And inclusion, if you didn't get in this year, you can reapply next year. There's nothing that stops someone from reapplying. We actually had someone who applied last year and didn't get in because their application wasn't complete. They reapplied this year and they did get in. Also, once you're in, you're not in forever. It's an 8-year review, so currently we're in year 3 of our 8 years. So if you got in this year, you're in for 5 years, and then, of course, it's a reapplication. So based on all the comments and criticisms, we decided that the Ag and Farmland Protection Board is the government that we want to make the recommendation. So we kept the recommendation whole, and we didn't make any individual amendments to the recommendation. So that is done and behind us. It's always a long process to get it done, but we did it. Secondly, I did attend the fair today, Dawn Marie. This morning, this morning we had the county's ag forum, and if no one has ever gone, it's a great morning. It starts early, but it's a great representation of farming. And obviously, you know, Amenia, town of Washington, there's a lot of active farms, and it was a great way to see farmers interacting, learn about farming, see all the kids with their animals. It's just a great experience. So the ag forum is always the Thursday at 8 a.m. of the fair, and it was a great forum this morning. SUNY Cobleskill came and talked about different projects they want to partner with Dutchess County on some ag education, so that was great. And then lastly, I saw today that the county executive has released the applications and timeline for the agency partnership grants. Obviously, municipalities are not agency partners, but certainly you do have agency partners in this district. So I just want to make it aware that those are out there, the applications are live, and there is a deadline. So any agency partners should start looking at their
I'm
applications.
sorry, can you clarify what an agency partner is?
Northeast Community Center, Mental Health America, all those different agencies, they would be partnering. Habitat for Humanity, yeah, all agency partners. That's all I have. I just wanted to come in and see if you guys had anything from me.
Good to
And
see
I
you.
apologize that I wasn't able to help you on your microfiche.
It's a fool's errand, I think. It's like, we've been trying for a long time, so.
Thanks.
Can we take questions from the audience?
I mean, I could just see you.
Or we can hang out. My question is that Charlie brought up the fact that the ambulance is becoming a huge,
Yes.
it's
Untenable
our budget that
cost.
we just cannot hold down to a reasonable
Mm-hmm.
increase level. So can you tell us what the county is doing to address rural areas like ours that are just
So
strapped?
what I can tell you is, obviously, we are piloting this year, 2025, a countywide EMS system. We have done the Fly Car Grant, which anyone who doesn't know, any active fire department who has a car that's a first responder, they can apply for a Fly Car Grant. We've had, I believe, I don't want to give you the number because it won't be accurate, but we do have fly cars out there, and what that is intended to do is get someone who is medically trained with life-saving equipment in the car to come first, before an ambulance will get there. And that has lessened some of our response times. If you look at the data, and I'm happy to send it out, we get quarterly data now on individual towns, municipalities, and then the county has broken EMS services into 8 regions, and so regionally, we can get the data. Obviously, with your compact with Northeast, Dover, Amenia, you guys are not relying on the county service. It's not here much. I can send it to you certainly. There's 2 quarters of data out now, because obviously June finished the quarter. But I looked at the data and you're not using it much. Your response times are actually really good. So your life-saving is good. Obviously, the cost is something that needs to be dealt with. And the costs are not going down, and EMS services are going up because you need to, ambulance and EMTs have been underpaid, so it's about increasing the salaries for those people, giving them a living wage. And we're gonna have to go towards a more vibrant EMS service countywide. But it's a matter of doing it responsibly and doing it with careful consideration for all the stakeholders in the county, including our volunteers, our paid, and all our constituents.
Is that the end game? Because that would be lovely.
I don't want to say it's the end game because I'm not the decision maker in that, but to me, that, you know, if we're looking at what all towns combined are paying in this county, the millions and millions of dollars that is going out to private ambulance companies, you know, and it's going to end up having to go that way to have it. But keep in mind, in New York State, emergency medical services is not a mandate.
Right.
So that also doesn't allow us to be, you can't tax on it. You can't have an ambulance district because it's not mandated in New York State. So we also
Ooh, maybe we
need,
can change that.
we also need the state senate and the state ledge to have that as an emergency service mandate.
Okay.
And that changes it.
So who do we complain to? No, I'm just kidding.
Does that help
okay.
you, Vicki?
Yeah, I appreciate giving some clarity as to why the needle hasn't moved faster in that direction. And I understand from what you've just said, the mandate isn't required, therefore we don't feel we can grapple with that.
Right, we can't become a taxing district, like a water district or a sewer district. You can't have an ambulance district without it being a mandate.
County can't just assume that and create
Correct.
a giant district. for
Correct.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Walter.
Good evening. Walter Dietrich, Route 22, Amenia. I'd like to second what Ken said about you guys. It is true. It's just the way it is, you know. I'd like to talk about the public comments from last meeting. First, I respectfully disagree with Judy Moran's comment that, quote, board meetings should not be used to discuss whether people ought to run for office, unquote. I believe this is exactly the place. Jamie, and excuse me for not pronouncing your last name correctly, Dennis, wants a seat on this board, therefore I think it's totally appropriate. Julie went on to say that Kim Travis was belligerent to her and that Kim was not, quote, all sweetness and light, unquote. I do not see that this has to do with anything. No one stated that Kim was sweetness and light. So I can only believe that Judy brought this up because she wanted to support Jamie, which is her prerogative. People have the right to be at Fountain Square and to protest for whatever they believe in without being harassed. Before the national election, many of us were out there to support our candidates, both Democrats and Republicans, side by side without any harassment. This is, I'm sorry, except for one truck, which Nancy McKenzie mentioned in her talk. This is the way it should be. Both sides being able to show their feelings without being harassed. Secondly, I believe it was inappropriate to allow Jamie to speak a second time on this matter at the meeting. She said what she had to say at the beginning of the meeting. However, by allowing her to speak again, you opened the door to a debate. This is not a place for a debate. If Jamie wants to speak on another point, all fine and good. But as I said, she already said at the beginning of the meeting why she came here. I chose not to speak again because otherwise we would have been here all night. So if Jamie would like to debate this, let's debate. But debating's not here. This is you guys debate, but not for the public to debate. Thank you very much.
Okay, any other public comment? Because if not, I move that we close the public meeting and go into executive session again.
No, you have to.
Excusing.
No?
You have to make a motion to go into executive session. We're not closing.
Oh, okay, I move that we go into executive session.
Yes,
What?
I'll second.
Thank you,
Oh.
I already
Yeah.
trying to correct them.
Okay. I have to excuse you again.
That's what we're asking for.
Yeah.